Alright, well, spawning here in the lower right corner of the map, it's the Red Terran, it's Empire's Happy.
And in the upper left-hand corner of the screen, from the Team Rocks Kiss, Protoss in the green trunks, it is Fraer.
You got a bit of Ord status going on right now. Is that an airplane going by your house or what?
Yes.
Why can't you guys live in parts of the world where there are no airports nearby, man? I think
Mm.
Ord's was the best. He actually had one of the airplane sounds sync up with like a medevac that you were following on the field, so that worked out pretty nicely.
Everyone was like, yeah, the jetpack boosters are being enabled.
Yeah, ELO aren't even asking if you're at Ord's house right now.
Oh, gosh. I didn't know it was that loud.
It's
Man.
airplanes, man. It's ridiculous. I used to live under an airport, and I know a lot of people say that like you get used to it. I mean, granted, I was only like 10 at the time, but a lot of people say like you get used to the sound and all that. I call BS. I never got used to that sound. I hated it.
Yeah. Well, I don't even notice it anymore. Been living in this area for so long.
Now
There's like a
some
airport down the street.
something interesting here is Happy is building very much in base. He's not going for a wall off by any means. Even supply depot behind the mineral line, barracks right next to the command center. I guess he doesn't care if Fraer sees what he has, and I really hope that this means because he's going to do an economical 2 racks. We'll have to wait and see though.
Yeah, he may like be hoping that Frere is not aware whether or not this is cross spawns or like spawns around the map. So maybe he
It's
like comes up the ramps like, oh, he's not here. He can't be here. He would have built the ramp.
I'm
But
almost positive the Zotac version of Entomb Valley is not cross spawn only. So yeah,
oh,
there's a chance that you're really banking on your opponent to miss-scout you while you get stuff up, maybe.
well, Frere's gonna go for the Nexus first, regardless of anything, followed by that very quick gateway. And this is really annoying to play against as a Terran player. The very quick Nexus from the Protoss. It's like insanely strong. They get up a huge infrastructure, and you just feel completely trapped. But Happy's a great player. He'll probably scout this out, and I wouldn't be shocked to see him go for perhaps like 3 command centers very quickly. He is a macro beast, and if you let him get his infrastructure up, it's pretty hard to contest with. But he's going for a very standard build at this point.
Well, as you said though, I mean this is Entomb Valley. The bases are small. There's not a lot of build space. In fact, I think it's got the most limited build space of any map per base.
Yeah, yeah.
And the thing is, like, if you're a Terran player and you're going to turtle in, sure, you can get that third base, you got the rocks there, but it's not fun having to deal with any of that stuff. It's not, like, Terrans are built for turtling, don't get me wrong, but it's also not fun being in that position because it limits you severely, and your opponent can do, like, medieval sieging tactics and starve you out.
Yeah, and a lot of times you see Terran players actually just open up with the 2 racks to go see what the Protoss is doing. But okay, the probe is going to get in and see exactly what Happy's up to. But on the other hand, Happy's got his SCV in, but he hasn't seen the Nexus yet.
Oh, did he miss
He
that
sees
in
in
the
the
natural?
base.
Oh, he did miss
He's
that
got
in the
to
natural.
he's got to see how late these are though, and think, okay, this something's up here.
Well, I like this actually. Freyr very actively trying to make sure he doesn't get down there. So I don't know if he knows that he missed the scout on it or not. The
See now?
SCV will confirm that the Nexus is
Yes.
down. Okay, okay.
Oof, that's got to be like, oh crap. That's like the oh crap moment.
Well, we've got double gaps done. We got barracks on the way here for Happy. He may choose to punish this, or he may choose to build up behind it. It's kind of funny. Regardless of the matchup you play in StarCraft, the reality is, like, if you see your opponent's taking something like a natural, you can either go for another base or try to punish it. You can't really you can't just sit there and do nothing, though.
Hmm. Well, Frere is dropping down the robotics facility. Now, Colossus on this map could be really, really good. I do see it happen more often than not, transgress into that type of Colossus tech. But Happy's pretty good at dealing with Colossus, Rifkin. He goes for that Viking composition with the
Oh,
Ghost, as
wow.
mentioned at the beginning. But yeah, he's going to get a Stalker too here in the early game. Things going pretty good for Happy, despite the fact that the Nexus is up and running very, very efficiently. Looking at the income tab here, both players relatively even though in that regard.
Yeah, Happy's down on workers, but that's okay because he's got 2 command centers with mules.
Yep. Getting his stim, getting his factory. Once that completes, we'll go for the starport. And this is the standard. If you are a Terran player and you're struggling with Protoss and you don't know why, if you aren't doing this build, you need to start doing this build. It is the build to do. You essentially just go off of 1 racks into a command center, add on your 2 barracks, drop down your 2 gases. You can either do the gases first or the barracks first, depending on if there's any pressure coming at you. Getting that early stim, getting your medevacs out, it just sets you up to be able to defend anything that the Protoss can really have before the 10-minute mark.
Well, my favorite build is the one Panda actually taught me, and I know it's not his build by any means, but because he taught me, it's Panda's build, where you basically you go for the 3 Hellion drop, 7 Marines with a medevac, and you just build economy and production behind it. But with that one, the thing is, when you have a medevac out, you pick up units without a lot of stalkers to deal with it. You can constantly drop again and again and again, and you keep your opponent on their toes. Right now, Happy is playing in a way that is nothing close to that. Everything he has is at home. Fraer is free to do what he wants, and we see the Robo Bay coming down in the back of his base as well. So, I mean, Colossus, 5 gates, Fraer's looking to be in a really good position, actually.
Yeah, but Happy's also in a great position because he's got this Marine over at the 3rd base. He knows, okay, the Protoss player isn't going for this 3rd base at the 8-minute mark, 8:30-minute mark. There's something up. Like, he is definitely building up a large army to come hit me. There's no other explanation for it. In fact, he's going to move his factory from his main base all the way across that 3rd to try and prevent the block that.
This is why Mech needed buffs in Heart of the Storm, guys. Maybe they went a little overboard with Hellbad, so it's questionable, but this is all people use the factory for in TVP. It's a really expensive scout.
It is kind of silly.
It's not even cloaked like an observer. It's just a silly expensive scout. But okay, well, looks like Happy is going to start moving out to him.
Yeah, and, you know, Thermal Lance is about halfway done. First Colossus just made its way on the field. Second one is on its way now, being chrono boosted. Things are looking good for Fraer, and this is definitely going to transgress into a macro-oriented game. The Observer has made its way across the map and scouted out the entirety of Happy's base too, so Fraer is very well aware of what's going on, and Happy's going to be moving in with his Bioforce, but I think he's going to have to move away after the scan, revealing the Colossus.
Yeah, he sees the sentries, he sees the Immortals. There's really nothing he can do right now. I mean, he could try that Observer snipe. Yeah, I saw that, just barely.
So good!
This is very risky. He's going to go around and, okay, if he can get a drop-off, this is going to pay off really nicely for him. If he can pick off, oh, but there's stalkers here.
There are.
Positioned and waiting. Fraer is used to these sort of tactics. And without the medevac boost, yeah, Happy just going to turn around as soon as he sees that.
I wonder if Fraer actually saw that, though, because he was attacking something out the front. I believe it was just one unit. But yeah, Happy is forced to move back. Will he just stim in and go try to take those stalkers out, though? That's also another possibility. That would be super risky, though. But, you know, like, stim in, take the stalkers out, fly away. They'd be like the Navy SEAL Terran Army.
SEAL Team 6.
Yeah. Alright, but Twilight Council is the choice here from Fraer, likely just trying to pump up his +1/+1 after he gets his double forces down.
Wow,
Where are the upgrades at for Happy at this point? He's got +1 armor about to finish up. Second eBay is on the way with an armory too, or is done with an army on the way too, so...
Oh, I think Happy sees the Observer. Can he snipe this one again?
He's gonna get it. Nope.
Nope. Gonna walk away.
Yes.
There we go.
So good. That's the mark of a Gosu Terran.
I know. I am garbage at dealing with observers. Now, here's the cool thing. He knows that the Observer saw him, so he's coming around, and he pulls his units back. So I guess Fraer, yeah, look at this. He's positioned his Colossus ready to anticipate any sort of drop coming that way, because that's what the Observer saw. But Happy saying, like, all right, yeah, you got an Observer, congratulations. I'm going to use it to my advantage.
Well, Fraer's got his 3rd base up. It is running. It is humming. On the other hand, Happy has his 3rd base up. Running and humming too, but...
We got a Warp Prism on the way and Speed Doom. We might see some cool stuff come out.
Where is it, though? I don't even see it. Is it out yet?
It's just spawned, so... I heard it load something up. I don't know where...
Me too!
Natural. Bam. 4 Zealots loaded up, ready to go, do some big damage. Zealots, of course, do nasty amounts of damage to Terran units. It's not fun dealing with Zealots. Now, Happy does have 4 Vikings at home in anticipation of the Colossus. Can he catch the Warp Prism Doom?
Yep, I don't know. It's going to be up to Happy to move it, and his move is going to be for the Ghost Company. Blink is being chrono boosted out. Is Storm going to be chrono boosted out as well?
Happy going to get a nice victory here, picking off 3 Stalkers and a Zealot for the cost of nothing. That factory man.
Yeah, Rifkin, I mean, looking at the Viking count, it's pretty good for Happy here.
He's
pretty good being 8.
I'm pretty sure he can one-shot this Warp Prism if he catches it. And Fraer saw the Viking count with that Scouting Zealot, so I would hope that he doesn't move in with this. Now, Happy has continued to block this 4th base location for quite some time with this factory. But he's using it to kind of almost bait out the stalkers. He keeps moving it, picking off small squads. I mean, this.
Yeah, he didn't really know he could take those stalkers out, but okay, the blink is going to be revealed here. Probe will not be taken down either, but all right, 4 more gates are being added on for Fraer at his third base. Storm is just about to finish as well. Looking at his complete infrastructure, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 gates in total in addition to these 4 that are about to warp in. So he's gonna have a nice little tally of gates, gonna be able to produce a lot of units. On the other hand here, Happy's infrastructure is huge with barracks.
Charged zealots are going to be a great resource dump, especially once he's got this many gates on the field. I mean, zealots are not very good because they get kited around very easily by Terran units, but once you give them charge, those marauders are just concussive shell doesn't matter.
This is very true, but the +2/+2 is going to be done quicker for Happy. In fact, he just starts his +3 right now, +3 attack upgrades. And looking at the upgrades for the Protoss player, they're actually lagging a little bit behind here. +2/+2 is not even a quarter of the way done so far, and here we go. Happy's going to move, and he's got EMPs. Rifkin, if he gets an EMP down, this could be huge.
He gets an EMP off. It hits
Everything
most
on
of
the Templar.
Yeah, but a
So
storm.
no storms.
The Colossus are still there. There's still a sentry in that army. I mean, Happy's got a scary force. Fraer's got to be careful with this.
This is horrifying right now.
Oh, the Vikings go to work on the Colossus. One goes down almost immediately. Huge engage, assisting from the ramp. Another storm going down, and Happy not looking too good with these storms, but he has cleaned up all the Colossus at this point.
Oh man, he tried to snipe the High Templar, but he wasn't successful. But all the classes here are going to fall, and now Happy's moving in. He's got Stim, he's got the medevacs to keep us all alive.
Vikings landed, but you gotta remember, this is how many gates of production right now? Like 10 gates? Something ridiculous?
It's like, I think 7 + 4, 13.
13 gates, yeah. Big number, big number. Now, Vikings are landing, of course, trying to do what they can. Storm did not get to do that much, but the probes try to evacuate.
It's just Zealots, and Zealots aren't going to be able to do anything against this. I mean, even the Vikings are actually going to do significant damage against them. One Colossus will make its way on the field, and that's probably when Happy's going to have to pull back.
Down. The 4th base was shut down. The 3rd base is shut down too. He's losing a lot of gates for this. And Fraer, he's like, all right, I'm not going down with the fight. There's cannons, but the pylon gets taken out even, and these Zealots are going to try and charge in. An Archon to assist as well. Actually, this is looking really good for Fraer, but Happy could just pick up at any time. There's not a lot of anti-air here.
Vikings were tanking in that battle, so it's a sight you don't see very too often unless it's in a Blizzard cinematic with an Ultralist. But the command center is done for Happy. He hasn't moved out to his 4th base yet, so still only stuck on these 3 bases. But you know, his Protoss has only got 2 now. Look at Happy's infrastructure, Rifkin. 2 starports with reactors on them. All of these barracks with tech labs. 2 with reactors. He's got the Ghost Academy done. He's building missile turrets around his base. He's looking really fantastic game. And Fraer's only response, take 2 Nexus.
Look at the resources lost right now too. I mean, this is looking really good for Happy. He's playing this very effectively. A lot of those Colossus were really kind of just, they were taken out of the fight so quick to him. I don't feel like they even got to be part of it.
No, there was just a lot of Viking. The Viking count was on point. Was where it needed to be.
Look at the income right now. I mean, Fraer's a little bit, they're on par with the income, but the reality is Fraer's starting to lose. I mean, he's losing these fights. He needs to replace these units, and he wants another base, and he just can't take it.
The Archon falls too, and that was a big unit damage dealer here. It does splash damage. It can do a lot in conjunction with the Colossus with Storm. But I mean, Fraer is hinging a lot of his hopes here on these couple of storms he's got on this High Templar.
And I really wish Happy would start adding on some more infrastructure here to the 3rd base or somewhere else. I mean, the main base has got 6 barracks now. I'm sure there's lots of add-ons, but the reality is, like, he is not maxed, and I'd like to see him get maxed and finish this game off. Because his supply count is so much better than Fraer's right now, and Fraer is so gas-starved. Oops, sorry, wrong tab to close. He is so gas-starved right now, he really wants that base.
Yeah. I mean, 6 barracks, 2 with reactors. So he's able to get 4 Marines out of time. That's a pretty good point. But yeah, I mean, maybe he could use some more barracks. But I mean, he's doing his best to try to get that 4th base up, and that's definitely got to be his one and only objective.
Oh, Doom! Look at these cloak
snipes. He's moving in for the aggression.
The Templar picked off immediately. So nice. And there's enough left over for EMPs, splashing the Archons, or sorry, the Stalkers.
Observers just moving on the field, so the Ghosts are going to be taken out, but...
Ooh, this is actually not a good position here for Happy. Stuck on the ramp against Zealots, and the Colossus frying the army. Suddenly, Happy goes from having an amazing army to a little kind of annihilated army, but
he's got so many Marauders, so Rifkin, it doesn't matter.
His charges forward.
Are fantastic, and there's the GG.
Very well played.